we came across a new commit that is an older Chromebook device that is one of the many Alder Lake, so 12th gen Intel Chromebooks on the way. There's bunches of them. It was Draco before, so I found this after.
With a K, right?
No, with a C.
Oh, is it with C?
D-R-A-C-O.
Oh, cool.
So,
like Malfoy.
Draco. But it was in the list of just, it's another 12th gen Chromebook, whatever. And then we found the GPU stuff, and then I found an older commit saying change Draco to AGA.
AGA, yeah. It was A-G-H-O or
A-G-A-H.
A-A, yeah.
AGA.
Which is
they're all Destiny characters.
It's the last name of I think it's a minor character in Destiny, but yeah, it's in Destiny.
So, which is a perfect thing. Like, if you know you're going to bank a bunch of Chromebooks off of a baseboard, like, Destiny's a good place to go because there's so many names. Yeah. It's just a huge, universe of stuff. But, AGA was found and clearly has reference to Nvidia GPUs. Mm-hmm. So, they're getting drivers and basically turning things on so that the onboard GPU will be working. And so it's like, okay, we kind of knew, we've said this what feels like 100 times of eventually we'll get a Chromebox or something. And I thought it was a Chromebox at first because it has a barrel jack for a charger, which is, and I didn't point that out in the article. Maybe I should have. Might end up being, I might do another roundup because there's a bunch of other little stuff around it. But backing up, once I figured out that Draco was the old name of it, well, Draco has very clear ties to HP, from emails that are on the commits to the battery that's inside of it. It looks like it's going to be. Before, I'd already kind of pinned it as an HP device, and so now it's like, okay, well, they just changed the name. It's not like they changed the device. So it looks like we could be getting an HP, and their gaming is what?
Omen.
Omen, yeah, an HP Omen Chromebook.
Yeah.
And so the idea being, you launch this. I could see CES or something, them having something around then and saying, hey, look, this is a Chromebook, and it's going to have the gamer aesthetic, and it's going to have all the gamer stuff. And yeah, you can play your online streaming games too. That's fine. But this one's built for Steam games. And yeah, it's Chrome OS, and it's going to be fast because it's got a GPU, and you can do all your other stuff with it too. But this one's going to have a gamer aesthetic to it. That would be my guess.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm thinking I don't think Steam is going to technically be in beta until the end of this year. So we're probably looking in middle or end of next year before it's official. I would have said that doesn't line up with, there'll be 13th gen, whether Raptor Lake or whatever coming out. Yeah. But the release schedule, the way it looks like it's going, we're just now, I got the Dragonfly in there. That's the first, it'll be retail version. Yeah,
of
we'll
the
be closing in on 2024 before we.
Oh yeah, I feel like
before we get Raptor Lake.
I think so because
that one Raptor Lake device was just added a week or two ago.
It's just starting thinking about developing for the next
I'm calling
generation.
it now. I'm saying it's a Google Chromebook.
So I just think
it's probably not, but if it is, how cool am I going to look?
I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
Just go and put it out there.
Yeah, there you go.
It says Google on it. That used to be enough.
Yeah, if I'm wrong, we'll just delete this podcast.
But yeah, I think there are going to be multiple of these. The barrel jack again threw me off for a minute because I was like, oh, barrel jack means it's a Chromebox. They don't put barrel jacks on Chromebooks anymore. But you're going to need, if you got a GPU in there, it's probably going to have a pretty big fan array.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to need some power. But there's some other fun stuff on there that, like I said, I'm going to do another roundup of some of the details about it.
Now, we've had a Chromebox that was USB-C powered, but will USB-C do I think 160?
I think 4.0 is the one that carries more. So what I saw is that they're working on a switch basically to get 100 watts over USB Type-C, and the ability for the Chromebook to understand if you had the C plugged in, you popped out the barrel charger, it would know to switch over to that, I'm guessing. But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen 100 watts over USB.
Because if it has all of that, it's going to have to be at least 100 watts. At least.
Yeah. And that's the spec that they're showing right now. That's what they're testing anyway. They might be able to push more than that.
I really hope that Google is working with. It'd be awesome if it was DaVinci. There are a couple Linux editors, video editors that have launched official Chrome OS support, which is funny because I downloaded one the other day, and I won't name any names because at least they're trying, but the Chrome OS version that they have does not work that well. And it works with it integrates with Blender, so you can create your titles and stuff, but it will not work with the latest version of Blender. So you have to install the Chrome OS version of the video editor and then go install the older version of Blender in order for it to work. And I'm like, Google needs to pick one, and it should be DaVinci Resolves, or is Lightworks? No, that's photo. What am I thinking of? No, Lightworks is a video
Lightworks.
Yeah, Lightworks, because I've tried multiple times to install it and I can't get it to work, but it has a Linux version. They need to work hand in hand, and then when they roll out all this dedicated GPU stuff, they need to focus it around that and gaming. I think they really
because they could do the same thing they're doing with Borealis. Like at some point, somebody at Google just talked somebody else into like, hey, we can use this container stuff to make proper gaming. Let's go talk to Valve and see if they would be willing to help. Sure, okay, cool. Let's build a container for this thing, this one particular thing. And I think that's the route to go for these types of more intense applications, like where a service really wants to be involved with Chrome OS. Like, let's build out a container that suits it perfectly. So that
there's no reason not to, because a lot of these Linux applications and everything, they all have most of them have different versions that can be installed depending on which Linux distro you're using.
Right.
But most of them have a primary distro. They're like, we recommend this.
Right.
Build a container with that. Google has documentation on how to install your own Linux container with the distro that you want. Build a container, much like Arch Linux for Steam, that's built just for my video editor. It has everything needed in it, nothing more, nothing less. You can't tamper with the container and tweak it and mess with anything. It's just designed to run this. Then it just looks like an app.
Yeah, it's a one-click install.
Steam doesn't look like a Linux distribution. It looks like an app. It installs.
Just installed Steam.
Yeah,
you don't need to know anything else.
The container installs in the background, and then you have a Steam button, a Steam icon like you would on your Windows device, and it just launches.
And it's exactly what we've been talking about for years that they could do. And so I know it takes work, and they can't do that for every single application. But
this is the one. This is like the one thing.
Yeah.
This is the 1% that keeps people away from Chrome OS.
Yep, and gaming and video editing, we've talked about it, and photo editing to a point, but I'm like, there are some pretty decent options out there.
Darktable is awesome for Chrome, for Linux, for photos. But
I would say, like, if Adobe had, their suite for Linux, I would 100%. It's like, just go work with Adobe and build a container and put it in there. But they don't even have it for Linux.
There's
to begin
something
with.
Adobe on the perks page right now, but I can't remember what it is.
I don't know.
It's not Rush.
No, yeah, that clearly, it never got canceled, but it clearly got canceled.
Yeah, it's like, just don't talk about it.
Yeah, which they could have had a huge success with Adobe Rush and Android, but they're going to be usurped by what's it called, LumaFusion.
Honestly, KineMaster had a good opportunity to optimize for Chromebooks, and they never really did.
They're like, here's some shortcuts. That's all we're going to do.
Which stinks, because it's a killer Android app.
Yeah,
I mean it's great.
It could do we could do 85% of what most people are going to want to do on a Chromebook. Yeah. The only other thing I could think is like, man, I would love to see somebody figure out, whether it's WeVideo or Shotcut or somebody, like, figure out how to use local, do all the stuff local, no uploading to the cloud in a browser. And I get it, it's not good, like the exporting is probably not going to be fast,
right,
super fast, but is there some way to do some light video editing on local stuff with local hardware?
So I feel like Clipchamp's trying to do that, because none of your stuff is synced. Like if I do something on Clipchamp on one Chromebook, it does not sync to your projects sync, but your media and stuff doesn't. They're trying to do that. Microsoft bought them, so if anyone does it, it'll probably be them. But yeah, I don't know.
I just don't know that the tech is even there from a web development standpoint, and what PWAs have access to and browsers and all that stuff. It may just not quite be there, but
and that's the thing. PWAs have come so far in the past 5 years. It is just a matter of time. It's a matter of time before you can do just basic video editing in the browser offline, where you can cut, trim, do effects, volume stuff. And like you said, for most people that are just doing casual social media stuff, that's all you need.
Yeah,
that's all you need.
And not having to have the internet connection and uploading stuff, like that's the kind of the crux of it.
Yeah, because that's the problem now with all the video editors, is that the editing itself isn't that bad because it is mostly being done locally. It's the minute you go to render the video, it's got to go to the server and all that stuff. So that's what takes time.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. We really do. If you don't mind, go down there, hit the thumbs up button. Make sure and subscribe if you haven't already. We're doing an awesome giveaway once we hit 10,000 subscribers on the main podcast channel. And while you're down there, don't forget to click the bell as well to be alerted when we make new videos just like this one. See ya.